let's talk about a big idea in Indian agriculture, farmer-producer organizations, or FPOs. They were meant to be the key to rural prosperity. But, there's a serious crisis brewing just beneath the surface. So today, we're going to dive into a story of massive failure and a pretty incredible revolution designed to fix it.
And it all starts with this one single number. Get this, a staggering 95% of the 40,000 FPOs registered across India have either failed or are just not sustainable. That's not a small setback, that is a massive systemic crisis. So you have to ask, what is going so wrong, and more importantly, how in the world do we fix it?
So here's our game plan. First, we're going to really break down the FPO crisis itself. Then we'll introduce this thing called the SMART solution. After that, we'll get into its truly revolutionary zero-cost model for farmers, check out the 90-core financial roadmap, and finally, see how this all clicks together to build real, lasting prosperity.
Okay, let's jump right in. Section 1, the FPO crisis. See, to really get the solution, you've first got to understand the problem, to deconstruct why the whole system is failing.
And when you look at why they fail, it's not just one thing, it's a total breakdown. Experts have pointed to 6 core reasons. First up, there are just no viable, bankable business plans. Then, you've got poor strategic choices right out of the gate that just burn through cash. Third, a total lack of a disciplined, skilled workforce. Fourth, they failed to explain their value to the very people they're supposed to be helping. And on top of that, there's a complete absence of digital tools. We're talking analog in a digital world. And finally, no real focus on empowering the youth. It's a recipe for disaster.
And the contrast this creates, well, it's like night and day. On one side, you have the typical FPO, struggling, dusty, analog, and ultimately leaving farmers buried in debt. But the vision for the SMART FPO, it's the complete opposite. Digital, vibrant, high-tech, and designed from day one to dominate, creating farmers who are de-risked and actually profitable. It's a whole new way of thinking.
Which brings us right to Section 2, the SMART solution. This isn't just a small tweak, it's an engineered answer to those 6 failures we just talked about, designed to be a rural powerhouse.
So, what is a SMART FPO? Well, at its core, it's a digitally enabled, democratic corporate institution right there in the village. But maybe the best way to think about it is as this sustainable powerhouse built specifically to bridge that huge gap between the folks who grow our food and the folks who eat it in the cities.
And look, SMART isn't just a catchy name, it's an entire framework. The S is for scalable, meaning it grows in smart planned phases. M is for measurable. Every single thing, from soil health to profits, is digitized and tracked. A is for adaptable. It's built to be agile across 26 different integrated businesses. R is for replicable. This is a blueprint that can be copied and scaled up in any district. And finally, T is for time-bound, with a clear, audacious goal of being totally debt-free by year 4.
All right, Section 3. And honestly, this is where the model goes from being interesting to being a total game changer for the farmer. It's the zero-cost revolution, and it's all about one thing, de-risking the farmer's life.
Now I know what you're thinking, because I thought it too. How on earth is that financially possible? How can you just eliminate a farmer's single biggest stress, the cost of cultivation?
The answer is this number, 0. That's it. For the farmer in this model, the cost to grow their crops is exactly 0 rupees.
So here's the magic behind it. The FPO, as a company, covers 100% of the production costs. I mean, everything. Seeds, bio-inputs, labor, even the fancy harvesting machines. It's all paid for. This completely lifts the crushing weight of production debt off the farmer's shoulders. And what that means is, every single rupee they make from the harvest is pure profit. And for the FPO, well, this move secures them an incredibly loyal, high-quality supply chain. It's a win-win.
Now, that powerful farmer-first model is the fuel that powers the FPO's own incredible growth. And that brings us to Section 4, the 90-core roadmap. This is the journey to becoming a financial force.
And the path to 90 cores isn't random, it's meticulously planned. Year 1 is the foundation, getting the core businesses and bioeconomy hubs up and running. Year 2 is all about scaling up, adding things like agritourism and waste-to-wealth units. Year 3 is the huge one, the infrastructure apex, where the FPO actually becomes energy independent with its own biogas plant. And then, years 4 and 5 are all about consolidating the brand, launching their very own retail store, the SMART FPO Mart, and cutting out the middlemen for good.
Which brings us to our final section, building rural prosperity. This is where we connect the dots between this amazing business model, the rock-solid financials, and the incredible impact it has on people's lives.
So let's talk about risk. To feel safe, a bank usually wants something called a debt service coverage ratio, or DSCR, of about 1.5. Basically, it means you're making 1.5 times what you owe. Well, the SMART FPO model, it runs at an average DSCR of nearly 8. 8! That means it's generating 8 times the cash needed to cover its debts. That's not just safe. That's what you call a zero default risk for any bank.
And check out these numbers because this is why investors get excited. The internal rate of return is over 50%. That's high-growth tech startup territory. The debt-to-equity ratio is super low, meaning growth is fueled by profits, not risky loans. And the current ratio is above 3, which just shows it has tons of cash on hand. These aren't just good for our rural project numbers. These are blue-chip enterprise numbers, period.
But the real return isn't just about the money, right? It's about people. This model is built to create over 500 stable, salaried, professional jobs in just 5 years. We're talking about professionalizing an entire rural economy.
And it's especially focused on empowering women. Through this incredible Lakpati Didi vision, women are trained to become professional farm managers. They earn a fixed salary of 1.8 lakh rupees a year, get corporate benefits, and even a share of the profits. They're not just laborers anymore, they are becoming corporate leaders.
And this creates what's called the community prosperity loop. It's beautiful. 80% of the profits go back into growing the FPO, but a full 20%, we're talking over 2 crores a year, is invested directly back into the community, funding things like mobile health clinics and smart schools. It's definitive proof that a hugely profitable business can also be the biggest engine for social good.
You know, all of this leads to a really powerful takeaway. And this quote just nails it. This is not just a business plan, it is a strategic evolution for India. It completely reframes the whole conversation. We're not just fixing farming, we're building a new blueprint for the nation's rural economy.
So, we've seen the crisis, and we've seen the engineered solution designed to fix it. This really just leaves us all with one final, crucial question. Are you ready to transform rural India?